Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, scholars and dignitaries, welcome to another episode. Welcome to my world. Hello, friends. In human relations, we focus a lot on love. Love is simple, isn't it? I mean, in essence, it is both the key to serenity and tranquility, the key to healing, the key to world peace, and even the key to life. And yet, if it is so simple, why do we continuously seem to get it wrong? What is it that we're missing? Well, love doesn't have to be complicated, but yet we make it so. Yes, people are complicated, but love is so simple, yet we make it way more difficult than it needs to be. Sometimes we don't know how to love. Sometimes we don't know how to show it. And sometimes we let people, places, and things cloud our thinking and our feelings. And believe me, I've seen it 1,000 times where someone forfeited their love and for all the wrong reasons. I saw it with a friend. His wife told him one day that she needed a break from him, that she needed to get her head together. Now, this isn't a positive situation. It really set up a serious and potentially very negative situation, but I've seen worse. So I told him, play it cool. Don't get flustered. Don't get angry. Don't do anything to complicate the situation, and don't do anything to sabotage your marriage. Right now, things were cool, but not disastrous, and there was still a good chance she would return. Anyway, he did exactly the opposite. He went out dating and sleeping with other women to prove to her that he could, and also, let's face it, to hurt her. And that's what he did. And the bottom line is that he let his pride override his love, and yes, it only served to further damage what was a salvable marriage. And sometimes when we actually find love, we struggle with it. And I've seen people reject it even before they knew what they had or how important it was to them. What a special gift they had just to toss it away with neither rhyme nor reason. Love is often involved in our highest highs and missing in our lowest lows, and it's almost always linked to satisfaction and contentment, which frankly is what most of us ultimately want in life. It's the sound of laughter and happy voices. It's the basis for long and fulfilling friendships and relationships. It's important for a high quality of life, for satisfaction in life, and for good and fond memories, many of which will last all the days of your life. How many of you still have childhood friends that when you think about it, you think about as affectionately as any brothers or sisters? Or when you see an old friend you haven't seen in years, you reconnect and just pick up again as if it was yesterday? Well, the key to all of this is love. And more stories, books, movies, songs, and poems have been written about love than anything else. Anything else. But how do we actually do it? How do we get it right and make love last and keep it fresh and real? Even though it's a basic human instinct, it's not that easy, and as often as not, we seem to be missing things and getting it wrong. Marriages fail, relationships fail, families fail, even national and international relations fail, but for all the wrong reasons. Well, there is an answer, and that's just to be better in loving people. And yes, it takes work and sometimes practice. And yes, it even takes time and do overs. After all, nobody's perfect and we all make mistakes. Now, you know most of this, but what I did want to do was to take 10 of the top rules I found to help improve loving relationships. And I've tried to simplify them. So some of these are reviews, but there is also some new material, including some don'ts in the end, that to be honest are just as important as the do's. So, what is love? Love is a strong interpersonal affection. It's a personal attachment that a person has for someone else or even for something else, something in particular. Many people love their pets and some perhaps even their houses or cars, although this isn't what we're talking about, love in this regard. Love is also a virtue, like respect, kindness, and compassion. In fact, it's been said that faith, hope, and love are the greatest virtues, and the greatest among these is love. And yes, there is a love scale, for lack of a better term. And of course, you can find yourself with no love in your heart, or conversely, with a heart full of love and love for all people, which is the ideal. Now, following the basic laws of love can ensure a happier and more fulfilling life by bringing more love into a person's life and relationships instead of negativity, toxicity, and loneliness. And while there are many different thoughts and opinions about love, here are the top 10 rules to follow that can increase affection and stability in relationships, and to be honest, just lead to a better quality of life for everyone. So, the first rule is the golden rule, and this is a combination of two different sayings. If you remember, when asked, "What is the greatest commandment?" Jesus said, "Love God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul." But the second commandment is no less: love your neighbor as yourself. And similarly, the Bible says to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And what is unspoken is that both of these mean treating people with compassion, respect, care, and affection. In other words, with love for their health and welfare as you would for your own. A second role for love is actually a sub role for this. It is to always love unconditionally. You don't love someone because someone loves you. You love them despite of the way they care for you. You don't love them because of what they did for you, gave to you, or think of you. You love them unconditionally. Yes, the other things do help, but true love goes well beyond loving someone who loves you or does something for you. It means total love and total acceptance of anyone and everyone under any and all circumstances. And a third rule for love, and perhaps the hardest of them all, is to love your enemies, not hate them, but accept them and love them, no matter what they have done or continue to do to you. It really is easy to love people who love you, but can you be a real adult, a bigger person, and love someone you don't even like, or people who disagree with you, or people who have entirely different values than you do, or even people who mistreat you? Remember what Abraham Lincoln said: "The best way to destroy your enemy is to make him your friend." Love is the power that transforms, and love is the only power that transforms. A fourth essential role for love is to always forgive others. Forgiveness seems to be the hardest role that people have because our pride and resentment get in the way, and sometimes anger and bitterness are the result. This role means so much because resentment is a poison that destroys hearts as well as relationships, and even justified as well as unjustified, resentment can destroy entire families. Meanwhile, forgiveness is the healing ointment. And remember what Jesus told St. Peter when he asked Jesus, how many times should he forgive his brother? As many as 7 times? And Jesus said, no, you must forgive him 70 times 7 times. We all make mistakes and we all make poor decisions. We need people to forgive us and we need to forgive others. A fifth rule is a very basic rule: have and maintain a sound base of morals and standards like honesty, responsibility, respect, and faith. Having a sound character, for instance, where you don't lie, cheat, or steal, creates a base where it is natural and normal for you to reach out and accept and share with others. In other words, you are less guarded, and sharing love becomes less of an effort and more of a joy. So, yes, there are times where you may feel it difficult to love someone, but I can tell you of many times where I have seen people come around because the person reaching out to them was a kind and gentle soul. Sixth, treat everyone like they're your best friend. Be happy when you see them. Ask them how they are. Ask about their family. And if it fits, see if you can do anything to help them out. And especially if you're married, treat your spouse like he or she is your best friend, because they are. You know you go out of your way for your best friends. You don't insult them, neglect them, dishonor them, or fight with them. You treat them as equals, or even better than you treat yourself. You applaud them, respect them, help them. You enjoy it when they're happy and are sad when they suffer. In effect, you love them. Treat everyone like he or she is your best friend. Seventh, remember that actions speak louder than words. In other words, if you do something wrong, apologize. If you want to show someone your love, do a random act of kindness. If you make a promise to someone, keep it. This may happen many times, but to show real love, you have to put action behind the feeling. Don't just feel it, mean it. And sometimes we have to show it, and sometimes We have to change to mean it. Eighth, validate people and support them. Not necessarily agree with them or everything that they say. For instance, people often argue over politics, so they say if you're good friends, avoid politics. But there are still ways to discuss and agree or disagree, and yet remain good friends and keep that special friendship. So don't let pride or anger or your ideologies interfere with your love, for whatever reason. Ninth, never, never compare yourself to other people, and never, never blame other people for what you have or cannot have or achieve or don't achieve in your own life. Perhaps one other thing that destroys love is seeing that a friend has a better house or car than you do. Well, that's really jealousy, and that's a killer of love. Similarly, being judgmental also kills love. Listen, no one is perfect. So if you start to focus in on other people's flaws and be overly critical, especially when they do make a mistake, you'll start to see that your love for them starts to wane. Criticism is antithetical to love. And 10th, be tolerant, be patient. Don't make mountains out of molehills. Be kind, stay respectful, both for yourself and others. Find ways to overcome your weaknesses like anger or pride. Maintain a good will towards everyone, friend and foe alike. Be the first to say I'm sorry, and most importantly, smile and keep a good sense of humor. With love, it's easy to laugh, but just be sure you do. And mutual laughter is a bond that holds relationships together. Laugh long, laugh hard, laugh a lot. Remember, too, what love isn't. Love isn't about changing people, although with love, we do help give the support that people need to grow and develop. Love isn't judgmental, it's unconditional. With love, you don't play games. With love, you don't control other people or put unnecessary pressure on them or inflict guilt trips. With love, there isn't any room for cruelty or unkindness. You don't nag and gripe, and you don't belittle a person or be sarcastic or mean. And a final point about love, the more you give, the more you get back. The return on love is limitless, and it is one of the most beautiful elements of life. Love does make the world go around, and we all need and want love. It's as much a part of us as the need for air, water, food, and shelter. And it's so simple. Man makes it complicated. Hey, be safe, be well, share some love today, and may God bless.